Good morning. Welcome to Relax and Paint. And today I'm wanting to work on a rooster. And the first thing I did was share with you that I'm getting the head part, always making sure the beak comes into the head and a V and out. Then I'm making sure that the red on the face is all in here and here and here. So the wattles and the crown up here make it look really special. Okay. So then these feathers come down over the breast and a wing. Okay. And so then this rooster, it comes up and it has a tail right there, the butt. And then the legs, you've had the breast come down and then it crosses over with the front leg. Okay, so this looks short and stumpy, but we need room for all this. So when I'm putting it on a surface, for instance, this 12 by 12, I came all the way over about 2 fingers from this side so that right here's halfway, so that most of his body's over there, but the big fluffy tail's over here. Okay, so I'm doing a bright blue and yellow rooster, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the background. So I'm going to go ahead and start like this. I was going to put an all over print in the background, but I also had some other ideas, like we could put a cute fence in front, stencil a fence, but I'm going to wait till we get done, because always when it dries, you can come back and stencil a background. Okay. It could even be my Paris stencil that I work on. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is get his body in here. So I'm going to get some medium with my 16 flat. All right. And I'm going to pick up the cobalt and a little bit of the, what do you call it? Cobalt blue. Okay. So I'm putting both colors in here because I will just use some cobalt later. And then in here was going to be a little bit of the yellow. And usually I do this chest lighter colors, but I'm going to leave that gap there. And I'm going to come right in here with a darker Prussian blue. Okay. Same thing happens here. I'm going to get darker as I come under here. And you have to remember the white on the canvas is a color too, so it shows through. And then I'm going to come right here because I want to see the difference here. I don't want it black, but this ends up being very dark. You see that? And right here. So then I put this over and then this over. All right. So I hope you can see some of the light that I'm bringing in here. All right, so we're doing the colors that are in the back first, and then we're overlapping other colors on top. All right. So this did come up under the this apron, I kind of call it. It's from the head down, just overlaps onto this. So, and then these strokes right in here, these feathers are going to overlap the tail. So I can wait on some of those, but I just want you to know that down here, I might even put some blue in here so that you can kind of know where to go from. There's some medium and some cobalt. Okay. Now, I think roosters are pretty simple. They're just kind of fun to get comfortable with first. Okay, so I did bring some grays that I thought were, oh, by the way, we are using multi-surface, Folk Art multi-surface paint. It's got a sealer in it. So as this dries, it's just beautiful. It works really good for us. All right, so I'm going to wash out this blue brush. Okay, and I can start out by adding some white and daffodil yellow all up in here first. So I'm going to put all the yellow in, and then the red's going to dominate it. So I will do that red, yellow, red later. Okay, it's early. All right, so let's see how I'm bringing the white in from the top. And then we are going to make these as feathers coming down. All right. So one of the things that happens here is by base coating this, I can then come with yellow ochre and add some more color. And I'm going to dry this with my my heat pen. And it's so quiet hopefully you can still hear me, but I'm going to do this right in here. And it's better than a hair dryer. And it dries pretty darn quick. So right in here, I'm going to pick up, I'm going to wipe off the white and just pick up daffodil and yellow ochre. All right. So right along here, I'm going to come in here with a little bit of yellow feathers coming right across there. Now I will bring some cobalt into that later, but then I want you to see that I'm going to come all along in here. Okay. And see, these feathers are going to go like that on top of that blue, but we're going to go up here first. Okay, and I'm going to come right in here. So daffodil and yellow ochre. You see that we're pulling these feathers up. Daffodil. So I'm going to take and turn the yellow daffodil. We'll have some of these feathers that hang over the outside. But now let's bring in some white. Okay. We want all those feathery strokes all the way up there. All right. And I want to come in here with the other 16. And I can have some of this go up into here. And I saw just a little bit of blue was right here. We'll see what that looks like as we get going here. All right. And right along here, we're going to put in a little bit of white with cobalt. Okay. And so we came way down here first. And I'm adding all of these white and cobalt. And then these come around. You see? Looks like they're going to come a little bit further down. So let's come right in here. White and cobalt. There we go. So the thing that I like about the roosters and hens is that the different feathers are stroked different for whatever uh, section of the rooster they're coming up. Like they even have little fuzzy feathers in some areas, depending on the breed of the rooster. I got morning throat, sorry. All right, so I'm now turning this brush and the white's leading because I'm going to pull this up in there. And we're going to put some other colors in here later. But what's going to happen is we're going to right along here. It's white, white. I came with that yellow, so. Okay, right along there. All right, now let's go back to the yellow. Because in here, we took the yellow ochre. Can you see that? I got a little bit more yellow ochre there. Yellow along here. And then daffodil. Now I got to wipe off that blue because we're going to bring some of this. This is all the wing. Okay. So these are all short strokes. And then I am going to come back down here because I want these yellow ochre strokes to be the crown, the top of the rooster that hangs down over the body. Okay. There again, we're going to a little white in here. Okay. So what happens right along here, I'm going to go back to the blue. And we are going to, how is that? It's a little dark. So we're going to come right in through here. There. All right. So all that movement just looks like more feathers. I just want y'all to see that. And when you're here, you could have more. See how that is in the body? Okay. All right. So I am going to use the heat pen again. Okay, so while that's drying just a little bit, I'm going to come down here with yellow ochre. And then we're going to go, each talon is going to have a little stroke. Okay, but then I want a little bit of yellow going down it for a light. You know, I put a little bit of light down there. A little bit more. See that? Okay. All right, so those colors are getting really rich, I think. Okay, it's still pretty dry. It's just because it's shiny. All right, so this right here is going to come up on top of the feathers that we're going to put in. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and start doing the feathers, the big tail feathers. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do the underneath ones first, all right? So I can pick up some white and then work on the cobalt, all right? So I can have some coming in here. But look, I got to have medium so that it moves. It should feel like butter, guys. All right, so I'm going to get it heavier. And heavier. All right, so I'm going to bring some that are way here. Now watch what happens. I'm chiseling, pressing very hard. Stand up, stand up, stand up, and curl. All right, so medium and get some cobalt in here. A little bit of white because you want all the different colors. I'm going to have short ones and long ones. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to take that with the medium and get Prussian, this dark. All right, so I do have some dark coming in here. Just all Prussian right there. All right. Then we're going to come right in here. Medium and Prussian. Just doing all dark. I put black in here before too, but I like that this is coming here and there and there. Okay, same thing here. I'm going to push up here. This is why I didn't want to put too much in the background because I'm not sure, but I want a whole bunch. All right, cobalt and Russian. Okay, curling it back really works well. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in some gray. So white and gray. All right, so a little bit here. See that? I'm going to take, now this really needs to be dry. There's some of that gray in there. Get a little bit of a curl in there. so we can have more white than gray. I can do some little really light fluffs in there too, of the feathers that are like really like pom-poms kind of fluffy. All right, so I'm going to wipe this off and we're going to go into this yellow and white because those start coming up. It just has a little bit going along there. And it just gives you a little bit. Now, remember, I said feathers here, feathers there, feathers everywhere, kind of different. And I can come in here, like I've taken licorice and I'm coming in here and have added some spots in here. You're just adding little bits of detail. Just little bits, because we can come in here with white. Just to look like feathers, fancy feathers. All right. So I don't like that. It's too much white. So I put a little bit more licorice back in there. All right. Now, any rooster I can use, reds and greens, all kinds of bright colors. I just stuck all to yellow and blue. Blue with sunflowers turn out so pretty. You know, when I'm doing sunflowers with the rooster. So what I want to do is, oops. This has got lots of water in the brush. I did not dry it out. We wet the brush and then we stroke with it, right? All right, this is the one in the back. And we put this one on top. All right. So what I do on this is I make this just apple red at first, guys. And then I usually put some darker tones of red. So we're coming up and back down and up. And make sure you get some, look at this, make sure you get some little teeny detail. Like if I come down and I come right back up and then make it go around. Okay, so some of this I want it to go up a little bit higher. So you're getting detail in there. All right. So I can come around with a teeny bit of licorice. Just side load a little bit of licorice. And I can come right in here while this is still wet. and bring it right around, because then I can go on this side of it. Okay, and sometimes this has a wrinkle in the face, so I just make some little detail. Like if I came in here, I can go in here again and again. And then we'll put the eye in there in the detail. So on here, we're going to take this one in the back, and then watch. We're going to scoop and bring it in front. And then what I do is I do a little bit. Oops. I'm going to wipe that off and make sure it's red with a teeny bit of licorice on one corner. All right, because what we want to do is we want to get a little bit on the peak, a little bit in the curve, a little bit on the peak, and a little bit down here on the curve. All right, so see how that gives you some detail. All right, so the way we make him look really good now is that I'm going to put yellow in here, daffodil yellow, okay? And then I'm going to put a little bit of a dot in the eye, okay? And that's going to brighten everything up. So then I put in a little bit of yellow ochre. All right, you see his beak just a little bit. Then I'm going to take the kiss tool, because we want to take some of that white off because it's a little high there. And then I'm going to put some licorice, make a circle. All right. We're going to take a little bit bigger. Let's add some more licorice. All right. A little teeny bit of little nostril there. Okay. And I'm going to do like a little script liner and just pick up a teeny bit of licorice to go across the beak down here. So I'm going to roll that brush and pick up thick white. Actually, I'm going to use the Kiss tool, which is a wipe away tool if you're looking to buy it. I'm going to put a dot there and a little dot by it. Okay. And so I want to intensify just a little bit this bright blue that's right here. It just gave a nice look on the face. They have that blue there. All right. So I can come under here just a little bit with some blue under his feet. All right. We could do all kinds of little bits of shadow. Really needs to dry first, but I just want you to see that you can take a little bit of medium with a little bit of gray, or I can add white and gray. And I could come right along here in the back. You see that? And then in some of these, I can have some gray. This is all better when it's all dry. All right, it just gives you a little bit of depth. Maybe just a little bit. Any bit of that you put gives some depth. So I can come along here. And you let it disappear as it goes. Okay, so there's a couple of different things that we could do, but everything's got to dry first. But I'm going to play around and maybe stencil on top a couple of these looks. What's nice is that you can see the rooster from behind. Of the stencil. All right, see how much that helped. All right, so I've got to dry it for a few minutes and then we will stencil something on here, okay? So some of the time you've got to let it cool down before you can lay something over this. I'm not sure what I want. But I might put a little bit, let's try a little bit of yellow because if I don't like that, I can put something darker over it. Okay, so we're gonna use my stencil brushes, which we're out of right now, guys. We're waiting for them to come back in, but they don't come out back to the end of November. So I'm pretty sad, but that's what it is. All right, so I want a really light and barely rubbing it. So I'm going left and right, and I'm just getting a shadow of the blue. And we're going to see what this looks like. Okay, left, right, and I rubbed off almost all of it. But I want to see what this is going to look like. Okay. Well, it's kind of pretty. It's really light. See, I can still use this. I haven't got any more paint and I took off paint. And that's where people usually mess up. I might just have it on the bottom. But what I was thinking about is I could have this color and then up there do some yellows, but I don't know if that's going to look okay. I can try it. Left, right. Left, right. And I like that it looks faint, really faint. Most people put a big glob of paint and you have a mess, and then you ask me to fix it. I'm like, you can't fix that. Okay. So just move it around. You can use that paper towel blue right here. Left and right, both ways gets in all the corners. So you don't have to put a lot. You see that? I think I'm going to keep doing blue instead of doing any yellow. Okay, so this makes a really fun background. Left, right. You can go right over the rooster tail because it's kind of the same color. See? Oh, that's pretty, guys. Okay, so I'm going to finish it up and post the picture, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. And we just made a rooster that you can make any color you wish, but the same strokes. Thank you so much, and I'll see you Friday.